Hello, my name's David Wardle. I was born in Grendon and lived there till I was 17. I had a great childhood there. Mainly we played in the woods, basically lived in the woods, building fires, camps, back home at the end of the night, last thing. So a great place to grow up. Went to school in Baddesley, and then when we reached the age of 12, we all had to come down to Atherstone then. That's when we started to meet other people from Atherstone. My best friends were Peter Bott, Nigel Wright, Lee Montague, Fraser Shackleton, Andrew Dorman. Great, like I say, great childhood. The age of 17, I met Teresa then. I'd fancied her for about 4 years, from the age of 12, when I used to hang about with a brother. I used to say to her brother, have a word with your sister. It's like, tell him to go away. Anyway, at the age of 17, chance meeting with Teresa, and we've been together 38 years since. 2 children, Laura and Tiffany, 2 grandchildren, Harry and Olivia, and Tiffany's just told us that she's pregnant and due a baby January. So a little bit about my charity work. So the first charity piece of work I did, my cousin had a virus and he was taken into George Eliot in Nuneaton. This was on the Friday night. On the Saturday he had deteriorated. They called my uncle and auntie in to say he'd got 24 hours to live. By the Sunday they'd put him in a induced coma, then they gave him a liver transplant. I was very close to my auntie and uncle, and I thought, what could I do to give something back? So I seen something on the telly called the Great North Swim. I hadn't swam for years. So I got in the pool, did about 6 lengths, I was absolutely knackered. And I smoked at the time and drank. I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go, I'll start training. So I trained for this Great North Swim, which was a mile. And I was training doing breaststroke, that used to be my favourite stroke. And by the time I'd conquered the mile, I had to go and have a wetsuit fitted. And the lady says, you can't have a wetsuit really if you're doing breaststroke, you need to be doing a front crawl. So I had to back to the pool again and start doing front crawl, which I did. I got down to 30 minutes. So I did this Great North Swim and I raised £2,700. So I took it to the liver unit in Birmingham. By then my cousin had died. And I really enjoyed it. I thought I'll keep having a run or a swim. And I used to take my fags with me, and the goal was to get to Grendon Bridge without stopping. But I got to the King's Head, I'd have a fag, walk back, and this went on for months and months until I got to Grendon Bridge. And this one day I'd got 2 fags left, and I thought, I don't want to smoke these anymore. I'll have these and that'll be it. So I smoked the 2 fags, put a patch on my arm. I thought, I don't need a patch, took the patch off, and that was it, I never smoked again. And then I enjoyed the running. I thought, I'll go for a cycle, I'll go for a swim. I thought, I'll do a triathlon. So I kept putting my goals high to make sure I had something to train for, basically. So in the end I was doing the triathlons, and I thought I'll do a marathon. So I trained for a marathon and did a marathon. Did 6 marathons. And then 2 years after this happened, I went to watch a friend boxing in Coventry. And I met another friend there I hadn't seen for about 10 years. I met him in Manchester at a Ricky Hatton fight. His name's Stephen Wazza Wainwright, known as Wazza. So we went to see this friend, Baz Graham, a mutual friend of ours. And I said to Waz, what have you been up to lately, mate? He said, I got married a couple of years ago in Scarborough. He said, I met this couple, Rachel and Newley from Hull. And he said, at the end of the night, they told me that they'd got 2 kids, but one had died. So Waz was a DJ, and he put a charity night on for this couple called 2 Thumbs Fresh. And he was telling me he was doing another charity night. So he told me the name of the charity, Freddie's Friends. And I got home and I read it and I cried my eyes out, and I could not stop crying. Every time I read about it, what happened, I cried. So I rang my daughter up. I said, do you want to do a swim? We'll call it 4 miles for Freddie. You swim a mile, I'll swim 3 miles. So yeah, Tiff agreed. So we did that. I think we raised a few £1,000. And then the couple come down to Nuneaton to meet my friend. They didn't know me or what I'd done, and I gave them the money, and I said, I promise you, I'll do something every year. I said, I'll do something every year. Yeah, so now his mother's name's Rachel, father Newley, and now we laugh about our meeting. They said how many people have promised to do something every year when they've had a drink. You never see them again, but here you are, you know, all them years later you're still doing it. So that's something we laugh about. At first I didn't really, they kept inviting me up to Hull. It weren't about me meeting all the family and that. I was quite happy just doing a thing and sending them the money every year. But I'm glad I did go up because we are good friends. Yeah. So every year I'd got to think of something up, what I could do, what kind of adventure I could go on. So the next one was, I think it was cycle coast to coast in a day. So it was 140 miles from Whitehaven to Tynemouth. So my first practice one was I rode up to Buxton and back. Went up, I think 70 miles up there, had a cake and a cup of tea, cycled back, got to the Black Horse at Sheepy, absolutely knackered. I needed to call in, have a bite to quick put scratches in a pint just to get me back to Atherstone. What did I do then? So the list of things that I've done over the years is, the first one was a swim with Tiff, then the cycle coast to coast in a day, then the 4 Peaks, which so we went to Northern Ireland Thursday night, Friday morning, back to Stranraer Friday evening, and done like the Ben Nevis, then the Scarfield Park, then Snowdon. That was with Jonathan L from Grendon and a mate named Dave Nally from Ireland. Then I did John O'Groats Land's End on my own. I did that in 8.5 days. One of the highlights of that was meeting a lady named Fiona. This was on, she owned a village shop on the shores of Loch Lomond, sorry. It was about 5 o'clock in the morning, freezing cold, couldn't take my gloves off, which I was really looking forward to taking photos of Loch Lomond, but too cold to take them off. She says, what are you doing cycling this time in the morning, freezing cold? I said, I'm cycling for this charity. So she took me in, got a milk urn, made me breakfast, sat me in the middle of the shop. At the end of the day, at the end of the breakfast, gave me £20 and felt a lot warmer and carried on my way. So that was amazing, that was. Then I did the coast to coast walk. So that was 200 miles. We did that in 6.5 days. Again, Johnny was with me and Dave Nally. Then canoed the Caledonian Canal in Scotland with a lad named Matty. That was good. We both had 17-foot Canadian canoes with all this gear and the tents in. And I think it took us 4 days to do that. It was about 60 miles. Great adventure that one was. Highlight of that was Dawes Beach. We met, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, his name's Steve, he's the Nessie hunter. He arrived on Dawes Beach, I think it's in the 60s, bit of a nippy bloke. And when he got there in his camper van, he took his wheels off and he never moved again. And he basically makes little Nessies out of plasticine and sells them to the tourists. So he told us a great little camping spot, which we took up on his what's it, and that's where we camped for the night. Then what did we do then? Oh, then me and Tiffany, we had a tandem and we cycled around the north coast of Wales for 3 days. What else did we do? Oh, then the COVID hit and it scuttered my plans. I was going to do Agents Wall. So instead of then, I've got my wife to shave me in the middle of my head like a clown, and I dressed up as a clown. Got a little kid's bike, turned myself into Bozo the Clown, and cycled around the street on a little clown bike, and that raised another few grand. So the COVID didn't get in the way. Then went back and did the Agents Wall again with Danny Mulligan. Cycled Normandy on a tandem with Teresa, visited all the D-Day beaches. Her granddad, he landed on Gold Beach and unfortunately survived. So that was another good one. And then the recent one, Aberdeen Way, that was 10 islands in the Outer Hebrides. Another fantastic time. So yeah, that's where we're at the minute with my charity work. But without all these people in Atherstone and the surrounding villages, I'd never be, oh, get me again. So without all these people in Atherstone and the surrounding villages, it's not just what I do, it's what, got me again. You can't believe the support you get. Yeah, so without all these people in Atherstone and the surrounding villages, it's not just what I do, it's what we all, it's what we all do. Yeah, it's what we all do together. There's a community that makes it such a great place to be.